Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. Today, we dive into one of the most emotional, courageous, and quietly powerful moments of the year. Blake Lively standing before the world's biggest names at the 2025 TIME100 Gala, delivering a speech that wasn't just an acceptance, but a silent roar, heard by anyone who has ever endured, survived, and risen above. As Blake Lively took the stage under the glittering lights of New York City, surrounded by figures who have shaped politics, entertainment, and culture, she chose her words carefully, deliberately avoiding the swirling chaos surrounding her current legal battle with "It Ends With Us" director Justin Baldoni. But the weight of her silence was louder than any headline, more piercing than any lawsuit. I have so much to say about the last 2 years. But tonight is not the forum, Blake said, her voice steady, yet thick with unspoken pain, a subtle acknowledgement of the storm she's been enduring privately while maintaining her public grace. In December 2024, Blake filed a lawsuit against Baldoni, alleging deeply disturbing claims of sexual harassment and a retaliatory campaign aimed to tarnish her reputation. Baldoni, in a stunning twist, not only denied the allegations, but countered with a $400 million lawsuit of his own, accusing Lively, her husband Reynolds, and even her publicist of defamation and civil extortion. The entertainment world was shaken. Fans who adored Baldoni for his public image of kindness and advocacy for good found themselves questioning everything. At the TIME100 Gala, however, Blake did not let the legal battle define her moment. Instead, she redirected the spotlight to an even more powerful, universal story: the survival and silent endurance of women everywhere, beginning with her own mother, Willie Elaine McAlpin. Describing her mother as a survivor of the worst crime, Blake's voice trembled slightly as she painted a portrait of a woman who faced violence and lived to tell the tale, though she often chose not to. She spoke about the unspoken pacts women make with each other to endure, to be vigilant, to protect themselves in a world that so often places them in danger simply for existing. Her words were not just a tribute, but a challenge to the world, a call to recognize the unacknowledged strength it takes for women to move through daily life with the knowledge of constant vulnerability. It wasn't lost on the audience that Blake herself is walking that same tightrope now, facing an onslaught of public scrutiny, navigating betrayal from a professional colleague she once trusted, standing tall despite the whispers, headlines, and courtroom maneuvers. Reynolds, Blake's husband, stood nearby during the evening, his gaze filled with admiration and fierce loyalty. They shared a few intimate moments caught by cameras, a quick conversation, stolen kisses, and hand squeezes that said more than any public statement could. Later, Ryan would tell People magazine that he was in awe of Blake's strength, resilience, and her refusal to let her current legal ordeal define her. Their unity was palpable, a reminder that behind Blake's public bravery is a deeply rooted private support system that not everyone is fortunate enough to have. But for Blake Lively, the journey is far from over. The trial against Justin Baldoni is set for March 2026, and while both sides prepare for what promises to be a brutal legal showdown, Blake continues to live her life with as much normalcy as possible, raising her children, attending events, producing projects, and being a voice for those who can't always speak for themselves. Her speech was not just a moment, it was a message. It was about survival, about resilience, about choosing to stand in the light, even when shadows try to pull you down. It was about honoring the women who have fought silent battles and continuing the fight, not just for herself, but for every woman who has ever been made to feel small, powerless, or silenced. In a year where many headlines focus on scandals, celebrity, feuds, and sensationalism, Blake's moment at the TIME100 Gala stood apart. It reminded everyone that behind the glamour of Hollywood, real battles are fought every day, not just in courtrooms, but in hearts, minds, and homes. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is to speak with restraint, to choose dignity over drama, to let your actions speak volumes. Even when your words are few, the ripple effects of Blake's speech are already being felt. Fans flooded social media with messages of support, praising her for her bravery and grace. Celebrities, too, have quietly offered their solidarity, resharing her quotes and standing by her side. In an industry that often punishes women for speaking out or for remaining silent, Blake Lively is charting her own path, one that refuses to fit neatly into the expected narrative, one that is about more than winning or losing a case. It's about living authentically, standing tall, and being, as Blake herself put it, a survivor, not just a victim. As we look ahead, all eyes will undoubtedly remain on the court proceedings next year. But if there's anything Blake Lively taught us at the TIME100 Gala, it's that no matter what the legal outcome may be, she has already won something far more valuable: her voice, her dignity, and the unbreakable bond with the millions of women who see a reflection of themselves in her story. In a moment where she could have lashed out, she chose to honor her mother, to lift up all survivors, and to remind everyone that true strength is quiet, resilient, and often invisible until it's called upon. Blake Lively didn't just make a speech. She started a movement, a silent, resilient, unstoppable movement. And it's only just beginning. Stay tuned for more updates on this story, and many more right here on Daily Gossip. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because in Hollywood, the real stories, the ones that truly matter, are the ones you don't want to miss.